So we talked about props, like what is the importance of the props is if you want to communicate some data. So in our case, we have an app component. From app component, we want to pass the data to the greet component. What is the data we want to pass? We want to pass the first name and last names. If that is the case, we can use the prop. The props is one of the mechanism where you want to pass the data from parent component to the child component. Okay. So let me go. Yeah. One more thing is props are immutable. What do you mean by immutable? Inside the greet component, like whenever we get the data inside the greet component, right? You cannot change the props. Means they are immutable. Immutables, you cannot change them. You can only read them, but you cannot go and change them. That's what is the immutability of the props will look like. So then one more thing is I'll try to update this to use the object destructure syntax. This is also you will try to use object destructure syntax. What is this object destructuring syntax is? Now I can say
When we say constant open brace first name comma last name equal to props, props is an object which contains the first name last name properties, and we are extracting the first name last name properties from the props and trying to display them as it is. This object destructuring concept we have discussed in our ES6 sections. Let's run the app now. We should be able to see the same output without any changes.
now I'll try to show you how to debug this code also. Then I'll give some time to go and do that. Now, if you want to go and debug this code, pay attention here. Go to the sources, go to control P, go to the sources, go to the control P. What is our component name? Greet component. Select that greet.js. Select it. Put a breakpoint here on line number 3. So try to reload your application. Okay, the breakpoint will hit. Now, if you see, you can go and see what is props here. Now, are you able to see what is a props? Props is nothing but an object which contains first name and last name as the properties. So what are you doing at line number 3? Here, you are trying to extract the first name and last name properties of those things. You have this first name and last name here. So whenever you want to refer, you are going to see it as first name and last name instead of using the prop dot first name. And this is a professional way of writing the code. Most of your React.js applications, whenever you try to see, you will be seeing the code like this only. So now let us assume that I have a complex data structure, like I have a constant employee here. Constant employee. Okay, where you have multiple properties of that employee. Like, okay, now you can have yeah, address, all these things. If you want to pass it, right, you can still pass it as what you call, now you can pass as employee data. We can let assume that I will try to pass this as a data. I can go and pass that as an employee here. So for time being, I'm going to use the same thing for all other people because I don't have separate things here. So we can go to our grid.js. So now we can even extract the, so now the props is being an props is being, now it has employee also. Now what it has, what is the other property it has something called as data also. So now you can go and have the data. Okay. So now data is another object here. So now what you can do is you can go and extract again what you call constant address and salary from the data again. Okay. So if you want, now we can go on address and address dot. So what is to the grid.js, I'm passing 3 properties. One is first name, last name, and data. See, data is a object. Okay, so I'm passing the data as an object here. So now when I'm see now if you see When is a hard-coded data, I'm putting into the double quotes. Here, when I say data, when I'm trying to refer to a variable, I'm just trying to put that inside the two curly braces here. Okay, I put it this curly braces. Now inside the create.js, what I'm trying to do, now my props contain first name property, last name property in data. Now data is nothing but an object here. So now I'm trying to extract the data. Now data being an object again, I can go and again destructure it. Like what is the things it is having? It is having name, age, salary, but I'm interested in salary and address. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to extract the address and salary here. I'm extracting again the address and salary from the data. So now I'm displaying the salary and now again has address dot city. I'm trying to do it. Remember the syntax. If it is an object, you need to put into the curly braces. Okay, this is the thing. If it is a string, you have to put into the double quotes. Trying to show you the code for this grid component also. So what exactly is happening? I'll try to show you. The debugging is also very important aspect. So I just want everyone to pay attention to this aspect here. Go to the sources. If you have not debugged, go and keep it here. I'll try to reload my component. Now to see here, I got my props. Okay, I'll try to work. Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, now if you see here, I got my props. Props is contain first name, last name. I got the data. So now when I click on F10, so now I got the first name, last name, data here. Then I'm trying to print the data. Now data being again an object. So I'm trying to extract the address and salary from that object. Okay, done.